Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of News Dose, where I give you all of the latest news in the gaming world. And we may have got a hint as to what the PlayStation 5's price could be as PlayStation continues to trickle out information on the upcoming PlayStation 5. And I think we can start to piece together a few things on what to expect. And also in other news, we have big Pokemon news, Terry Bogard in Smash, and Valve may be joining in on the streaming craze. So stay tuned for all that as well. But before I get into anything else, I want to give an update on yesterday's video, which was speculating on the rumor that Xbox could possibly be acquiring Playtonic Games, or maybe even working on a new BanjoKazooie game. Well, that apparently is not happening because Playtonic Games posted a press release on Twitter saying they aren't working on Banjo and they remain independent. Honestly, this was really cool of Playtonic to do, as we have seen several developers refuse to talk about speculation and rumors, so kudos to Playtonic for being so forthcoming about all this. Anyways though, let's move on to other news because we may have gotten our first hint as to what the PlayStation 5's price could be. The thing is, we've been hearing a lot about the PlayStation 5 for the last 6 months or so, and we know it uses a Navi processor, it does ray tracing, and it will be using a solid-state hard drive. Because of this, many people have speculated the price to be pretty expensive. Some people even believe it could be around $600 US. But rest assured, because Sony is now suggesting that they are focusing on market penetration and market acceptability when speaking to their investors. What this means is that Sony may be willing to take a hit in order to keep the price down for the PlayStation 5 to make it more affordable for maximum penetration in the market. Now the question is, what will the price be, and what would be considered affordable? And I think that last question is important. For me personally, I'm still sticking with the $500 price tag, but I also think $400 may be plausible, and I'll explain why. Even though yes, I am betting on a $500 price tag, I think PlayStation believes the sweet spot is $400. They've shown this with the PlayStation 4 launch price and again with the PlayStation 4 Pro, and really the only time Sony ever really struggled in the past is when they read the market wrong and made the PlayStation 3 $600 and the Xbox 360 launched at a much better price point, being $400. I think we've seen in the past that price point is incredibly important for new hardware and how successful they can be. And we saw the Xbox One struggle early on because of this as well. Of course, they also had a ton of PR issues, but the price point of $500 with Kinect bundled in certainly didn't help it at all. So is it possible PlayStation could actually be targeting a $400 price tag? And if they are, they may need to sacrifice a power advantage to Xbox Scarlett. We've already seen Xbox go to $500 with the Xbox One X, and we also saw the PlayStation 4 Pro launch at $400, which again, I think is what Sony believes to be the sweet spot. So it would fit the current trend for this to happen, and that's why I must ask, what do we really know about the PlayStation 5? Sure, we do know some stuff, but there is still a lot of missing information. As an example, how many teraflops will the PlayStation 5 have? And that's actually been a big talking point for a while because reports are all over the place on this front. Some people have reported it could be as low as 9.4 teraflops. Others have reported it to be as much as 12 plus. And that's the thing. I believe the biggest difference next generation will come to how smooth games will play and run, with a big frame rate increase thanks to better processors, and quicker load times because they've moved away from mechanical hard drives and they're opting out for SSDs instead. All of the information that both Xbox and PlayStation has talked about up to this point kind of supports that as well, and how Sony is boasting how fast their games load and how efficient they are, while Xbox has talked about big frame rate increases and says the Scarlett is capable of up to 120 frames per second. So this might be where the biggest increase is, rather than just raw power like we've seen in previous generations. So I think there's still some big question marks for the PlayStation 5, and maybe they really could target a $400 price tag. What do you think though? What price do you think the PlayStation 5 will be at launch, and would you be okay if they did sacrifice power in order to get it as low as $400? Now of course they could just take a really large hit and make it $400, but how much of a hit are they willing to take? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, Pokemon got some big news today, especially if you're into the more competitive side of the franchise. There was a new video released today for Pokemon Sword and Shield about items, which includes several quality of life improvements, such as a new mint that will change the nature of your Pokemon to what you want it to be. This will allow you to maximize the specific stat that you want, which is a very big deal when it comes to the competitive side. This was such a needed change that will decrease the needless grinding in Pokemon games, but that isn't all, because you can also increase your base stats with supplements. This would get rid of EV training, so again, it just kind of gets rid of the needless grinding that Pokemon is plagued with if you play competitive. There was a few other changes like egg moves and XP rare candies, but to me, nothing was bigger than the mints and supplements. I love the Pokemon franchise myself and I like playing its multiplayer, but getting a team ready can be hours and hours worth of grinding because all of the little tedious things you have to do. You have to get the right nature, egg moves, EV training, hidden abilities, and the list goes on and on. So yeah, this is a much needed change and I hope you're as excited about it as I am. And speaking of Nintendo, the new Smash Bros. Direct released this morning with Sakurai showcasing the newest character, Terry Bogard, which is releasing today, so instead of hearing me talk about him, you can go check him out for yourself. What I will say though is that not only does he look fun, but I really think we need to applaud Sakurai for everything he's done with Smash Bros. Because the attention to detail he has put into this game so far, it's just absolutely spectacular. I mean, not only did he include Terry Bogard, but he included a ton of avatars just to be included into the background. It had to be a lot of work, so I applaud him for his job well done here. Now the last thing I want to talk about real quick is that Valve appears to be making a streaming service where you can stream your games to your phone, tablet, or PC. Now this is just a rumor for the moment, but this wouldn't be surprising at all if it turns out being true. I know a lot of people seem to be hesitant on streaming services right now because, well, they do still have a lot to prove. But I do think it's going to be a big part of the future for the gaming industry, which is why we're seeing Xbox, PlayStation, EA, and now it looks like Valve wants to do it as well. And as time goes on, it will become more and more viable, but right now, they're just being advertised as an option, and I think that's fine. That's the beautiful thing about the market right now and all the options that we have. If you want to buy physical games, you have that option. If you like digital, you can do that instead. Now we have streaming and subscription services like Xbox Game Pass, you have PlayStation Now. So it just seems like they are tearing down barriers so more and more people can play games. So I'm okay with that. Granted, I like playing local of course, but I'm just saying I'm okay with the more options that we're being given. But what about you? What do you think about all of the streaming options on the market now? Are you okay with it, or does it concern you about the future? Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification button. Peace out.